And man, we had we had to end the last live and delete it, man, because uh unforeseen circumstances. You know what I mean? He's gonna call it unforeseen circumstances because I wasn't even trying to see that shit. I wasn't trying to show it or see it. You heard me? We had to end that, man. Hit that like button when you come in, man. If you're if you're watching this on a replay, hit the like button. Hit the like button goes for people that's watching live and on the replay. But we had to end the live here for unforeseen circumstances. I mean, CJ Casino went rogue. I mean, it posted the picture of Go Yayo looking like a. I mean, y'all know the picture, the wild ass picture that he posted. I mean that he took. That nigga crazy. But my thing is, yo, people really surprised. Like it was people really surprised about Go Yayo. Like how many people were shocked, you know what I mean, to see that shorty ain't right. And he responded to it. We all listen to what he said. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't shocked. Over here, we been saying shorty wasn't right. We been said it. He too gangster. He too tough. Way too tough. He too animated. He's too emotional. Like that's not traits of a man. You understand what I'm saying? That ain't traits of a man, yo. He way too emotional. Way too emotional. Then we got this interview, one of his first Say Cheese interviews. What's up, man? Appreciate y'all coming back, man. I don't know, YouTube. It looked like we was picking up Sting. Yo, come on, yo. Why you come back? You must be a Go Yayo support, ain't you? Hey, Boss Better, do you support Go Yayo? Are you a fan? I mean, do you listen to all this music? Go to all his shows? Big Garvey. Remember we been saying that over here, man. Okay, now y'all know, yo, we been saying that over here. Like you can tell. You can tell, y'all. You can tell. Remember when all the Get Money Lil Ronnie shit was going on? And we was talking about how Sean Cotton instigated the beef? Yo, we been said that shorty wasn't right. Ben said he wasn't right. He's too emotional. Hey man, do your thing, man. You ready? If you're a Grinder app subscriber, everybody's voice, his actions, his mannerisms. I mean, yo, there's no reason to be that tough. Yo, most people that's moving like that try to hide something. You hiding something, bro. You hiding something. I mean, hey, I'm ready to send more. Hey, look, Balls Bender in Alaska. Why don't y'all get together on Instagram, man? Look like it's a match made in heaven. Won't y'all share each other Instagram, drop y'all locations and meet up. You know, maybe that's what y'all need to do. Yeah, right? But we're not part of the Rainbow Brigade over here in Keeping G News. You know, we don't do rainbows. Everybody salute to the Rainbow Brigade, but what Ray J call him, man, salute to the gaiety. What do you call it? What the fuck you call them niggas? The I forgot what the fuck you call them niggas. But whatever he call them, go Bills. Yeah, shit, he tripping. Talk about go Bills, go Ravens. Nigga, we ready to fuck y'all up today. She talking about go Bills. Bills ready to get blowed out. Yeah, but he responded to the accusations.
Anything y'all want to the internet, but that's cool, you know what I'm saying? That was my bitch, you know what I'm saying? My hoe with me and my hoe do. I'm grown in the bitch. I'm 30, I'm 29 years old. I been fucking since I was 11 years old, bro. Shit, bitch, goddamn, you want to lick on that motherfucker, goddamn, man, that leg up like that. Hey, you talking about, I fuck with hoes, though, bro. I fuck with women. You know what know what I'm saying? Bad bitches, ratchet bitches, you know what I'm saying? That was my hoe, you know what I'm saying? I knew she was a op, but I got stuck on it. She probably was on some op shit when she met me, but she got stuck on me. I'm like that, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? But she just ended up feeling as bad because I fuck with other hoes and she thought you went to jail. I was cheating on you the whole time you was free. Thought I wasn't gonna stop fucking hoe when you went to jail, you know what I'm saying? But what me and my hoe do, you know what I'm saying? We both stay between me and my hoe. You know what I'm saying? You can't even trust your hoe. You can't even trust your hoe. Fuck a nigga. A nigga could never play with me. A bitch though, he'll be a 5'4", 5'3" bitch that'll treat me like, oh, you a bitch, you a hoe, pussy ass nigga. And she know I'm a gangster. Know what I do. It's just when you start putting dick on your hoe and your bitch and shit like that, she don't give a fuck. A nigga be scared to death for your years. A hoe treat me like a straight bitch, pussy. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool, you know what I'm saying? Free commission, though. She get that high, she get her laughs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie,
She
yo.
get her laughs and shit like that.
Yo, as a man, yo, I don't give a fuck what he talking about. Yo, you should not be taking these type of pictures. Like, what the, like, how do you can't explain that, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yo, this picture is unexplainable. Like, it's like a UFO. You know what I mean? You can't explain this, man. Can't explain this. It's unexplainable, my nigga. You can't talk gangster this away. Like, this is who you are. I mean, this is who you are. This is what you dealing in, yo. Like, yo, this is not not even supposed to be a comfortable position for a man. Like, how is you comfortable taking this? Like, it's no way. I'm not trying to hear that shit. Shorty, he part of the Rainbow Coalition.
She did that. But shit is what it is. What's next? What y'all want to do, though? We outside today. Where y'all want me at?
I would ignore y'all. Now, from now on out, if I was the niggas that he was beefing with, he wouldn't get no attention. I mean, I can't give that attention. It's like beefing with a rat. Yeah, you's a rat. I ain't beefing with you, man. I ain't fucking. Yeah, I mean, like certain things is just like, yo, you shouldn't be fighting people that do things like this. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to fight about. Obviously, you got your own internal fight going on. You feel me? Like, obviously, yo, you fighting enough. You don't need to fight me. You feel me? Like, you fighting with your sexuality. You fighting with your manhood. You fighting demons, my nigga. Yeah, I mean, figure that shit out first before you ever step over here or try to beef with another man.
Alright, what's going down? Cash Cow, the Garden. What's going down Saturdays? Pandora. What y'all want me to see? Where y'all want me to pop up to? We outside. I'm saying. I gotta see what you niggas on for real. I gotta see what you niggas on for real. You know what I'm saying? All that pushing piece shit, that was over with. You know what I'm saying? Get your kids out the street. Screw 'em, get your kids out the street, brother. What you talking about, nigga? I've been trying to chill, change my life. I'm drinking lemon water, y'all. Trying to get out that oil. That guy gotta beat the shit out of one of you niggas. No earring, no jewelry. Beat the bottom of my mouth though every day. Y'all can't just be saying anything y'all want for the internet, but that's cool, you know what I'm saying?
Now you can't explain that. But look at this though, y'all. Like the signs was there. Look at this interview.
Situation, you know what I'm saying? And I feel some type of way about that too. I feel like it got posted at 4 in the morning. It got posted at 4 a.m. So I don't think you were seeing that. I fell asleep. I was at Super Bowl.
Check him out.
I was at Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I'm just saying though. But nah, man, I ain't tripping about that. I mean, it's already been figured out that nobody.
Check him out, man. Look at his mannerisms. Shorty wasn't never right. And then Shorty wasn't never right, man. Go Yayo. Sean Cotton. Look at this, y'all. This interview, this was 10 months ago. Yo, he was way too emotional.
If you have SNAP or Medicaid,
like, yo, this right here,
you may qualify for a
red flag. Yo, this is not manly behavior, y'all. Check him out. Look how emotional he is in this video.
My son, CJ. You know his mama had a thing for me.
Don't do that.
Oh, nah, that was bro. She was.
Nah, don't do that,
Was that
man.
his mama? I think that was bro mama.
Don't do that,
That wasn't
man.
even cuz mama. That was cuz mama. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't
I'm
do
sorry.
that,
God bless
man.
you. Nah, fuck that hoe. I'm Crip. I'm on bullshit. What they want? That's what they want. They want their years. They gonna get their years. Right? This is what I be holding.
So you letting all this build? I can tell you just let you finally voicing this
How long?
shit.
If you were sexually abused in a juvenile
Way too emotional, y'all. Like I try to stay away from emotional men. You know what I mean? Way too emotional. Way too tough. Way too gangster. You stay the fuck away from them. Them boys don't be right, man. A lot of them boys like him, they'll tell on you too. Too tough. You know, a lot of this should just be a scare tactic. You know, it's a scare tactic, or they trying to hide something. You know, he's not comfortable with his own manhood. You know, so he got to go above and beyond to prove people that I am a man. But deep down inside, you know, behind closed doors, he taking pictures bent over. Like, you can't explain that, bro. There's no explanation for that. Niggas don't do that.
You got more money, more jewelry, you a pretty boy, whatever. When Yayo in the room, hey, Yayo in here. I don't give a damn who here, the biggest rapper. Yayo in here too. That's that little Yayo nigga. And I ain't never had none of this shit these niggas had. Never had no manager, no big homie money behind me, no label, none of that. Bloggers ain't even fuck with Yayo before we went to jail. Huh, Bandidos? We catching bloggers and doing what to him? Real Tune know what I did to him.
What happened with Real
Real
Tune?
Tune know
for
what I
real.
did
He
to him.
wild as shit.
Real Tune know what I did to him. Yeah.
That's why he
The
did.
nigga whose studio it was, yeah. Hey, you with him? Oh, yeah, don't have him up here no more. Every time I catch him up here, I'm doing this.
At a studio?
At a studio. I'm on bullshit. Why you ain't put your video out, B-Do? Why you ain't put your video out, B-Do? Stop playing with me. But he a blog. I don't get no stripes for that. He lame. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of hash it out with, but it's still true facts. Nigga know what fuck going on.
Listen to him, yo. He's too
About,
tough.
nigga. When I seen Terry Blue, I was finna press Terry Blue. But before I could press Terry Blue,
It's a red flag, yo. He too tough, yo. Be careful with the too tough dudes. I'm telling you, they hiding something a lot of times.
shit. He ain't talking about, ask my nigga
So
Terry,
wait,
because me and Terry
wait.
like this now.
That's what I'm
ask
saying.
my nigga Terry what happened when I caught him at Big T. What happened?
But wait though, are you mad at Terry because
Nah,
of the
fuck with
CJ
Terry.
interview?
Nah,
But
fuck
I'm
with
talking
Terry.
about at the time. Is this because of the CJ interview?
This is before I went to prison.
Oh, okay.
Way
I didn't know the
before I went to
timeline.
prison. Terry Blue was going crazy on Dallas Global. They were posting insane shit about Yayo. You know what I'm saying? But he really had to meet me and be like, nah, I wouldn't even think you act like this. A lot of people got to do that. A lot of people got to meet me and be like, damn, Yayo, I ain't never think you act like this. You know what I'm saying? Because all they see is this. When I'm tripping. They act like I goddamn wake up after bed, grab a Glock. Before I put my shoes on. They think I'm that. These folks tripping. I'm just not no hoe, gang. I'm just not going for nothing there. Nah,
Listen to
I'm a little more on it than usual. Other people and shit. Other people might let you do something to them. I ain't going for none of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't let it discourage you. You have a cult following.
I'm
You
not
have
discouraged.
fans.
I'm mad.
Yeah, well, we don't give a fuck what them people doing.
I'm not
And
discouraged.
I like that you're
I'm mad.
But I like that you're not-
Their culture is not being, their people is not being corrupted, you know, being exploited. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta call out the fuckery because we're being exploited, and if you don't say nothing, the exploitation continues. Most people don't even know we being exploited. They think all this shit is organic and yeah, man, and things are just happening. Nah, man, this shit's been orchestrated. I ain't talking about him. I'm just talking about the fuck shit that's going on in the world. Yo, everybody kills everybody, ABM. Yo, black people ain't the only ones that kill other black people. Like, yo, who told you that? Do you have any statistical data? Do you have any statistical data that backs that up? Show me a stat that says black people only kill other black people and we the only ones that do it. Because the last stats I seen is black people kill other black people at, I think, 93 or 92 or maybe 94%. And white people kill white people at 87%. So what stats have you seen that contradicts that? Yeah, man, can you explain that? Because it sounds like you thought you said something smart, but that just sounds stupid. People kill who they're around. If you living in a black neighborhood, how the fuck is you gonna kill anybody outside of a black person? How are you gonna do that? But you go outside the neighborhood? Yo, people beef internally. If you living in a white neighborhood, more than likely, if somebody gets murdered, it's going to be by a white person. It's going to be a white person that does it, and a white person that dies. It's really common sense. See, that's what I'm saying. You fell victim to the exploitation. You over this bitch thinking you saying something slick, but you fell victim to it as well. You already know you being exploited, and they pushing false narratives on your people. All right, well, if you a part of the people. But you sit back repeating it, and you sound fucking senseless, as opposed to fighting against it. You know what I mean? You know, I don't give a fuck if you stay around gangs. I'm talking about the stats. So is it not true that people kill who they live around? Is that not true? Is that not true? Yo, black on black crime was a myth, bro. Shit was a myth. Shit wasn't real. That was exploitation at the highest level. Just like black men don't take care of their kids. You know, that was exploitation. That was pushing false narratives because they didn't tell a whole story. I mean, it's easy to start the story at the end. But you can't talk about black men not taking care of their kids and not talk about the mass incarceration of black men and what the crack epidemic did to the community. You can't disregard that. You can't just go from A to motherfucking Z and not explain the rest of it, yo. That's not how that works. That's what exploitation does. I can go to any community and I can pick out the bad seeds and make them the fucking face. You can do that with any community. You can go to the trailer park and make them the face. How would white people feel if the trailer park was the community of was the face of the community? The trailer park community. Or the Asian gangs. What if we made Asian gangs the face of Asians? What if we did that? You know, it is Asian gangs, right? What if we made them the face of Asian people? I ain't talking hope, I'm talking the truth. You just don't want to hear it. Yo, for the amount of people that's committing crimes, or Mexican gangs, the amount of people that's committing crimes is very small compared to the people that go to work every motherfucking day. That's what exploitation is. Or you can do that with any group of people, any race of people. It's not a black thing. It's not a black thing. Like, and you dumbass A and B records think you said something slick. You motherfucker sound stupid as a motherfucker. Yo, how many Asian communities have you lived in, Gerard? For you to make that assessment, how many Asian communities have you lived in? Have you lived over there with the Asian gangs? Let's find out. Now we ready to change the whole direction of the conversation. Cause y'all niggas coming here talking stupid. We'll get back to Young Thug. Niggas is fucking dumb. Hey. Yeah, we can go to any community. We can go to any community and highlight the ignorance in it. You can do that with any group of people, man. Swamp stories. Gang war in San Francisco, 1989. Yo, you can make that the face of any fucking group of people, man. Look, these are Asian gangs right here. Swamp story. Let's check swamp story.
That looked a lot different.
started my degree in 1986 and 30 years later decided to complete my goal.
Now, how would the Asian community feel if we made them the face? That's your A and B. You can't be black. You ain't black. That shit sounds stupid. You said 10% of America is black, and most of them are gangs versus gangs. Yo, who the fuck told you that? Yo, it might be less than 1%. You know how many black people there is in the United States? If we was to look up the amount of black people there is in the United States, and then look up the motherfucking amount of verified gang members, or you gonna sound fucking stupid.
Back to another episode of Swamp Stories. For this video, we dive into a topic we've never covered before. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. You can also follow the Instagram page as well. So let's get into it. Welcome to the islands of Samoa, located 5,000 miles from the United States in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The beautiful country is made up of 12 small islands with a combined population of 218,000. Yes, the entire country is smaller than San Bernardino. And because of how secluded they are, building an economy has always been a struggle. From the start, their main industry was exporting tuna, which they were once
about
the
biker
largest
gangs?
exporter in the world.
We can go to biker
However,
gangs
this
next.
alone can only employ so many people, so many Samoans began leaving in the 1950s. The vast majority went to New Zealand or Australia, but many went to America as well. Due to Samoa being an American territory, many residents were offered citizenship through military
Man, we just
jobs.
switched the topic,
So
yo,
in
because people came in talking stupid. So I gotta show them that if we make it's ignorance in every community, but the ignorance in the black community is being exploited. That's why so people got a negative perception of black people. It's not that we doing shit that ain't nobody else motherfucking doing. We just not exploiting them. We're not making the ignorance in the Asian community the face of Asian people. We're not making the ignorance in the white community the face of white people. What we're doing is making the ignorance of black people the face of the black community.
1951,
Yeah, the fuck
the
they
first
is.
1,000 Samoans arrived in the harbor area of LA.
Yeah,
This
they is.
includes San Pedro, Carson,
I'ma show you.
Wilmington, and most importantly, the city of Long Beach. And throughout the 1950s and 60s, more and more Samoans settled all over the state of California. But due to their economic status, many ended up in the roughest neighborhoods in the state, one of which being the west side of Long Beach, and that's where this story begins. The west side of
Yeah,
Long
they
Beach is
is.
anything west of the LA River. The neighborhood stretches 28 blocks north to south and is honestly a beautiful place to live. And that's exactly what the Samoan community expected, a peaceful neighborhood by the water. But shortly after settling in, they realized that the area was no walk in the park. In the 50s and 60s, the area was rough, but not in the way we consider today. Gangs were not yet in the picture, but the groundwork for their formation was being laid. So let me explain how it all started. Teenagers from the west side either went to Cabrillo or Long Beach Poly, and over the years, these two schools got worse and worse. As many of us know, Samoans are usually the biggest people at school, so nobody messes with them. But in this case, they were severely outnumbered by the other communities. So throughout the 1960s, they were constantly tested at school. All of this while the west side of Long Beach was developing its first gangs. First, you had the infamous Rolling 80s, located west of Santa Fe. Their main territory is the giant Springdale West Apartments. Then east of Santa Fe, you have the infamous Longo 13, who are the most feared in Long Beach. So for every Samoan,
like
there
black
were at
people to
least
me.
5 Longos and 3 Rolling 80s. And because of this, they grouped together and formed the Sons of Samoa, also known as SOS. Their territory is located south of Spring Street, right next to both of their rivals. SOS was more of a tight-knit family than the other two sections, so they made up for their lack of size with the
none of
way
them
they
look
moved
black.
in unison. And by 1980, the west side of Long Beach was a triangle of violence. The Rolling 80s versus Longo 13 versus the Sons of Samoa. This made for a horrible environment, far from what the Samoan families had hoped for. And as you would expect, this caused for many families to relocate. But what you wouldn't expect is where they ended up. Welcome to Salt Lake City, Utah. One of the most
Yo, he just doing a build up.
That's all that was going on. However, when the Long Beach families began sending their kids to live in Utah, all of that would change. The families assumed that Utah would be a better environment for their sons. In the meantime, it was absolutely true. However, in the 1980s, that would all change. In the 1970s, a new population immigrated to Utah. 550 miles south of Samoa, you have the beautiful island of Tonga. Just like Samoa, the island of Tonga had the Church of Latter-day Saints as well. So because of this, a good portion of Tongans decided to settle in Utah. However, the vast majority ended up in Inglewood, California. They settled in one particular section between Century Boulevard and 104. And just like Long Beach, this area was no walk in the park. So for their own protection, they started TCG, also known as the
They're not just told,
Crip.
they stupid. So yeah, when you get people that come in and say stupid shit, you just gotta prove them wrong.
From the very start,
Look at these
TCG
people.
was rivals with
Look at these gang members. What if we made? Look at these niggas. Look at these guys.
also known as the Tongan Crips. From the very
What if we made that the face of whatever they repping? What if we made them the face of their community? We don't do that with nobody else except for these
start,
guys.
TCG was rivals with Crenshaw Mafia.
We only do that to these people. We make these people the face. Meanwhile, it's a lot of gangsterism going on. It's a lot of beefs. It's a lot of murders. But these people are the face of black community. We don't make these people the face of their community.
Inglewood family and the Denver Lanes. Because of all this tension, many Tongan families decided to relocate to Salt Lake City. Okay, I hope you see where I'm going with this. The suburbs of Salt Lake City were filled with SOS and TCG members. Back in LA, the two sides did not get along, but they were really too far away to have a serious beef. But now that they were in the same area, the beef was on.
Yeah, you don't hear about no shit going on in Salt Lake City.
Use Grammarly and feel
Got
confident
that bitch
with
going to war in the
effective
90s.
March 11th, 1990. It's a freezing cold Friday night and the TCG members throw a party in West Valley. Well, 3 SOS members have just moved to the area and are looking for something to do. Well, after hearing about the party, they decide to show up. 9:30 p.m. The SOS members arrive, knock on the door, and expect a friendly response.
We're not talking about black
However,
people.
that's not what occurs. Instead, the TCG members are furious and get in their faces. A scuffle breaks out and the Samoans sprint to their car. They're able to hop in and speed down Volta Avenue. Little do they know the TCG members are relentless and are speeding up to catch up to them. The roads are icy, so it's a horrible idea to drive fast. Regardless, once SOS notices that they're being followed, they have to speed up. Finally, on Highway 154, TCG catches up. So at full force, they ram into the back of the SOS car. This caused the SOS members to slide down the icy freeway at 70 miles per hour. Sadly, the 3 members would not make it. And this right here kicked off a major rivalry between TCG and SOS. The formerly quiet suburbs were now just like Inglewood. The rivalry would go back and forth over the next few years until police finally took them down. But interestingly enough, this major rivalry had serious implications back in LA. It's very complicated to say the least, but here's what we know. The overall Tongan-Samoan tensions got really high all over California, and it involved way more than SOS and TCG. In fact, Long Beach and Orange County had a new set of Tongans known as TFL, also known as Tongans for Life. These guys did not like the Sons of Samoa, and it was only a matter of time before things got serious. November 3rd, 2006. It's a Friday night in Long Beach, and that means Friday Night Lights football. On this special night, Jordan High School faces off with the state champion Long Beach Poly. The rivalry game draws a large crowd of over 4,000 spectators. For most high schools, there's nothing to worry about, but in Long Beach, you never know what can go down. That's because the rolling 80s Longos, SOS, and TFL can all be there at once. Well, as expected, Poly blows out Jordan 50 58-0 on their home turf. Well, after the game, 4 SOS members/associates walked down Atlantic Avenue. While walking down, one of the SOS named Jacob Salaya notices 3 cars creeping behind them. So he nods at his friends and points them towards the creepy cars. And that's when the cars speed up. A TFL member named Nathan Taglioa rolls down his window. He yells, "Where you guys from?" Jacob rolls his eyes and starts walking away. But his friend walks up to the car and throws his 7-Eleven Slurpee into the window. Nathan gets furious, so he yells, "What? Where you from?" One of the members yells SOS, and that would be a bad decision. Jacob knows that this can end badly, so he walks down the opposite way. One of his friends follows him, but his other friend named Sam walks up to the car. And that's when Tao Sisi Matangi makes a wild decision.
Come on,
After
man.
doing this,
There's a lot of gangster shit going on in the world, yo. It ain't just black people. Let's go to biker gangs. Y'all ain't see the biker gang documentaries? What if we made biker gangs the face of the white community? What if we did that? You see how when you type it in, YouTube don't even send you to where you trying to go. Like this is what exploitation is, man. Look, they send me this. What the fuck is this? I'm not looking for that. If I was typing black gangs, they'd give me everything I need. Top 10 most dangerous motorcycle gangs in the United States. See what they involved in. Make them
Number 1.
let's make them the face of the
Vagos.
white people.
In the 1960s, a group of motorcyclists in San Bernardino, California, formed a club known as the Vagos. Club members are easily identifiable by their green threads and patches depicting the Norse god Loki astride a motorcycle. The club has about 24 chapters in various western U.S. states, like Arizona and Nevada, and 3 in
Send my
Mexico.
Instagram.
Multiple investigations by the FBI and the ATF have focused on the Vagos for crimes including methamphetamine manufacturing and trafficking, as well as homicide, money laundering,
They don't look
and
like black
firearms
people to me.
offenses. 25 Vagos members and associates were arrested in what has been called the greatest investigation in Southern California's history in March of 2006. Number 2. Mongols. Despite being named after Genghis Khan's massive empire, the Mongols, which was founded in East Los Angeles in the 1960s, is a really modest organization. It has 800 members and 70 chapters around the United States, with the majority being in California. The Mongols may not be as large or as strong as the big 4 illegal motorcycle gangs, but they make up for it in viciousness and violence. The Mongols, a much smaller gang than their opponents, the Hells Angels, were able to take control of Southern California from them following a lengthy gang battle in the 1980s. Still, the Hells Angels haven't reclaimed the land. In a massive operation in 2008, 61 gang members were arrested on various accusations relating to drug trafficking, racketeering, and murder in the cities of Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and elsewhere in the Southwest. Number 3, Pagans. The original intent of this biker gang was not to commit criminal acts. Pagans were established in 1957, but until 1965,
What if they was the face of the white community? How would people like that? Would they be a good representation of what you see, who you are? Would biker gangs be a good representation of white people? I bet it won't. I bet it won't. You dumbass.
The typical motorcycle club. Those who had served their country bitterly against the government in the 1960s would join the club, and before long, they would be involved in illegal activity. The East Coast is predominantly pagan territory. The group is involved in criminal enterprises such as drug trafficking, particularly crystal meth, marijuana, and heroin, and gang warfare. Additionally, the gang has gained notoriety for its members' propensity to randomly attack civilians, as well as drive-by shootings of former members and violent brawls with other biker gangs. This criminal motorcycle gang wears patches proclaiming their status as members of the 1%. Furthermore, they wear patches bearing secret messages meant to annoy cops. Number 4, Free Souls. In the late 1960s, an organized motorcycle gang formed in the state of Oregon. A motorcycle rim and tire were centered around an Ankh, an ancient Egyptian cross-shaped emblem, on its patch. One of their chapters is in Vancouver, Canada, but the rest are all in the state of Oregon. 3 members of the motorcycle gang, the Free Souls, were taken into custody and charged with numerous offenses on May 2, 2007. The investigation and subsequent arrests led to the seizure of numerous items of evidence, including drugs, firearms, and stolen motorcycles. Number 5,
Drug
Outlaws.
selling,
As
carry
the first
guns.
and
These guys sound ruthless to me. These sound like some cold-hearted killers. You heard me? I'm scared. Straight up, I'm scared of these motherfuckers, man. When you walking down the street, you see a motherfucker with a biker jacket, cross the street. Cross the street, y'all. If you walking down the street and you see a guy with a biker gang tag on, ladies, grab your purse. Grab your fucking purse, man. These people are untrustworthy. They vicious killers. They're not to be played with. Stay the fuck away from them. They might rob you.
longest running motorcycle club in the
What if we start pushing false narratives like that? ABM.
States. The Outlaws are a cultural institution. Other gangs refer to it as the epitome of 1%ness. Its origins may be tracked back to 1935, but following a reorganization in the 1950s, its distinctive skull and twin piston emblem replaced the original motorcycle's wings as the emblem of the group. The Black Pistons Motorcycle Club is one such support group that also doubles as a recruitment hub for the gang. When it comes to riding and camaraderie, this group is extremely strict. Men who ride Harley-Davidson motorcycles are its members. Women have no rights and can be bought and sold for anything, even illicit substances.
Gee, what the fuck is that? How the fuck is that illegal? How the fuck is that legal in 2025? God damn. That's vicious.
This gang has been around for a long time and has a bad reputation as one of the big four biker gangs in the United States. Murder, execution-style shootings, drug trafficking, money laundering, extortion, gunfights, and even firebombs have all been linked to the group's members.
The fuck?
Number 6. Bandidos. First opening its doors in 1966 in San Antonio, Texas.
I did a video on
The
that.
Bandidos are among the most infamous of all the American motorcycle gangs.
I got kicked off of Facebook for doing a video on that. They took my page for that shit.
Gang's emblem is a rotund Mexican with a machete in one hand and a gun in the other, rendered in a cartoon style and wearing a huge sombrero. The club's founder was a Vietnam War veteran, hence gold and red were chosen as the official colors. The Bandidos currently have about 90 chapters all throughout the United States, with further outposts in Asia, Germany, and Australia. The Bandidos gang history of crime is extensive and bloody. In 2006, a member of the Bandidos was apprehended, tried, and convicted for the murder of a famous flyweight boxer.
Damn.
And in March of that year, a member of the rival Hells Angels Motorcycle Club was sniped while leaving a restaurant.
Damn.
Number 7.
Shit's
Warlocks.
out of control.
The Warlocks are an American motorcycle gang that formed in 1967 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and rapidly expanded after the
Yeah,
Vietnam
it
War's
was
conclusion.
GBC.
The Warlocks, an exclusively white male fraternity, have chapters across Pennsylvania, the rest of the northeastern United States, and the southeastern United States, and even in Germany and England. Their emblem is a winged harpy from Greek mythology, and their colors are red and white. Members will frequently wear white supremacist symbols, both on their person and on their vests. Former chapter president Tommy Zaroff of the Bucks County, Pennsylvania chapter was arrested in 2008 on charges of having 10 pounds of methamphetamine.
Damn.
The same year in
That's
October,
a lot of drugs.
4 members of the Warlocks were arrested.
Ruining the community. He's selling drugs to his own community, man. He's a fucking cancer to society, man. One of the most dangerous individuals you ever meet. Selling methamphetamine to his own people. Who the fuck does that? I mean, I didn't know other people did that. I thought black people just did that. Maybe I was wrong.
And accused of manufacturing, transporting, and trafficking methamphetamine in Berks and Montgomery counties in Pennsylvania. Over 500 pounds of methamphetamine with a street value of about $9 million were allegedly sold. Number 8, Highwaymen. The Highwaymen came together in 1954 in the city of Detroit, Michigan. Michigan isn't the only place where you can find their chapters. They've also expanded to other states, as well as to Norway and England. Their insignia is a bat-like skeleton decked out in a leather jacket and a motorbike cap in black and silver. The
Look
club
like a gang to
colors.
me.
Other than Highwaymen forever Highwaymen.
Fuck no, I
The
ain't think
Highwaymen-
that, man. You can't tell sarcasm. I know this goes on, but it's not being pushed. You know, we're trying to make this the face of white people, y'all. If you just coming in, we are now gonna make motorcycle gangs and the crimes that they commit the face of the white community. Just like we making black gangs and the crimes that they commit the face of the black community. This is the new face of white people, y'all. meet the face of the community. The top 10 dangerous motorcycle gangs in the United States.
His mottos include, "Yea, though we ride the highways in the shadows of death, we fear no evil, for we are the most evil motherfuckers on the highway." Number 9, Hell's Angels. The Hell's Angels are the longest running and most notorious motorcycle gang in the United States. In the United States, the Hell's Angels MC have achieved widespread notoriety as a result of their numerous high-profile confrontations with the law and other motorcycle clubs. Most
Confrontation with the law? They got you mean to tell me that they disrespect law enforcement? Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way they disrespect the law. I thought people back in the blue. So you mean to tell me back in the blue isn't a universal Caucasian thing? There's Caucasians that don't back the blue? Ain't no way. You could not in America. Not in America. Ain't no way that's true. I think they lying. Ain't no way.
It has been claimed that the Rolling Stones recruited members of the Hells Angels to act as bodyguards for the band for their performance at the Altamont Free Concert at Altamont Speedway in December of 1969. One man wielding a pistol was stabbed to death when violence broke out in the audience and spilled onto the performance stage.
Damn.
Similarly, widely reported was an event at Harrah's Casino and Hotel in Laughlin, Nevada. One member of the opposing Mongols MC was stabbed to death, and 2 members of the Hells Angels were shot and killed during a violent conflict in the casino. 10. Sons of Silence. The Sons of Silence Motorcycle Club, with headquarters in Colorado and jurisdiction over much of the Southwest and Rocky Mountain states, has 30 chapters across the United States and 5 breakaway clubs in Germany. The SOSMC currently has 275 members in total.
Tattoos, man.
The Sons of Silence are a motorcycle gang that formed in the 1960s in the Colorado town of Niwot and have been at war with rival gangs like the Outlaws ever since. Source, Abbott. The Sons have a lot of rivals for such a small club
we don't respect
because they
snitching
are
over
one
here,
of the few
ABM.
one-percenter groups to be allies with the Hells Angels. They compensate for the inferiority in firepower. In 1999, authorities from multiple states conducted a massive operation against the Sons of Silence clubhouses, seizing enough firearms to arm a little army.
Damn.
Numerous machine guns, pipe bombs, and even hand grenades were among the weapons that were
Hand
seized.
grenades?
So
Wow.
that is all the time we had today, folks. Hope
They had hand grenades, y'all. Y'all want to see some more gangster shit? Since we making this the face of the community. Look at this. Since we making them the face.
Good evening. Police in Waco, Texas had a hunch a planned weekend gathering of biker gangs would go bad, but nothing like the violence that broke out right before their eyes. Gunfire, stabbings, and vicious beatings as members of what police call criminal gangs waged battle with each other, then turned on police in a restaurant parking lot.
They ain't
Where
had
it
no
was over
grenades.
9 people were dead, 18 injured, 170 arrested.
God
Tonight, we're learning
damn.
a lot more about the groups involved as police brace for possible retaliation attacks. Our national correspondent
Retaliation?
Miguel Almaguer is in Waco tonight with the
I
latest.
thought black people only retaliated.
Police call the crime scene at the Twin Peaks Bar and Grill among the most violent and gruesome they've ever seen. A brawl between 5 rival motorcycle gangs leaves 9 dead and 18 wounded.
At last count, we have 170 individuals that we have arrested. Those individuals are being charged with engaging in organized crime in reference to the shooting at Twin Peaks, which is a capital murder.
What started as a fistfight in a bathroom turned into a rumble. We were panicked with brass knuckles, knives, chains, and clubs before
Damn.
the wild shootout poured into the parking lot.
Vicious,
A lot
man.
of people started ducking. Innocent diners caught in the middle. more than 100 weapons recovered.
Nobody was doing anything.
100 weapons recovered. Yo, this is vicious activity, yo. I'm scared. I'm sorry, I'm scared of these motherfuckers. Y'all want to see the video? Look at the video.
Questions this morning about dramatic video recordings capture a deadly biker gang shootout. That video was leaked
Look
to
at this
CNN.
shit.
The clash happened in Waco, Texas.
Oh,
in
innocent
May.
people.
Don Dale is here with the video and the controversy. Don, good morning.
Good morning. The video is stunning and graphic. It shows the moments before the deadly shootout between rival biker gangs, the Bandidos and the Cossacks. A Waco police official confirmed
I'm
that the video
scared,
does
yo.
appear
Fuck
to
that.
be the evidence
Just
they
fuck away from
collected
them
at the
niggas.
scene, but
This
said
wasn't that long
their
ago.
office didn't release
Might have
it.
been 2016 or something.
The video obtained by CNN shows members of the Cossacks on the restaurant patio for a club meeting. The Bandidos roll in, and a fight in the parking lot breaks out after some Cossacks think a Bandido ran into one of their prospective members. The crowd moves in for a closer look,
gang
and then
activity.
the bullets start flying. Bikers dive to the floor, and at least one Cossack's member
Look at this, man. No regard for human life. These are gang members. They got no regard for human life. 18 people injured, 9 dead. Show me some black gangs that participated on this to this level, to this extent.
His gun and aims it towards the parking lot. Moments later, another gang member emerges, covered in blood. The bikers scramble for cover. One is seen firing his weapon and then stashing it after police arrive. Another shot shows what looks like one gang member sliding a gun to his biker brother.
Oh shit!
Inside the
passing
restaurant,
guns?
waitresses run for cover and customers hide under their tables as the chaos outside continues.
I just got a call from passerby. They were going by Twin Peaks, thought they heard a gunshot, looked over and saw a lot of people running.
Waco police were on the scene in less than 1 minute. The video shows gang members streaming out of the restaurant with their hands in the air. The bloodshed left 9 people dead and 20 injured. Officers arrested 177 people. All were initially charged with engaging in organized crime. But so far, no one has been charged in connection with the 9 deaths. CNN and also obtained graphic crime scene photos, which included images of hundreds of weapons, including knives, brass knuckles, and more than 150 guns that were recovered after the assault.
150
But
guns.
the question remains.
I wonder how many of those guns was brought illegally.
Who leaked this evidence?
I certainly have theories or guesses, and as others may as well. But again, those are theories and guesses.
Waco police say it did not come from them or the district attorney's office.
We are continuing to abide by the gag order, and will continue to do what that judge has asked us to do, which is not speak any further.
Yeah, I can go on for days. I got videos on these people, man. I got videos I've done on these people, y'all. So let's get back to the topic, yo, so I prove my point. We making them the face of the white community from now on out. Now, I was talking about Go Yayo, but we got sidetracked because stupidity in the comments. Yeah, I think we do need to send National Guard in, man. These motherfuckers is out of control. I think we need mass arrest. You know what I mean? Federal investigations, indictments. You know what I mean? Indictments need to come down, like, immediately. Like, I'm scared to death. I don't know how these people survive in these areas where these people live. Like, it gotta be uneasy. You know what I mean? It gotta be hard to survive there, man. The residents are scared to death. I'm sure they is scared to death. They don't know what's going on. They don't know if they're gonna live to see tomorrow. For real, it's that bad. It's that bad, man. You don't come over here talking about what black people do, y'all, when everybody does it. You know what I mean? Everybody does it. I ain't see when them people when they were shooting at each other. I ain't see them shooting at I ain't see no black people around. Looked like they was killing each other, just like every other race does. You know, you kill who you around, man. That's just what it is. You feel me? I don't believe that. White people kill white people at 87%. Black people kill black people at 94%. What's the difference? What's the difference? What, 8%? There's an 8% difference. Man, fuck out of here, man. Don't come over here talking that dumbass shit, man. You talk that shit to Charleston White. Motherfucker that'll listen. You can't talk that shit to a person that know. Like I said, I done videos on these people. I know the viciousness. You know what I mean? I know the viciousness. Let me show you. One more, then we're going to get back to Young Thug. Talk that shit to me, man. Bandidos. Hold on. So you two don't promote these type of videos.
Yo, what's up?
They don't promote these. You ain't gotta hear what I said. I'm just gonna show you what they did. You can go back and watch the video on your own time.
Killers. Straight up. Check them out.
Check them out. Check out the Bandido. Listen to this story.
Van driver Benjamin Perry, 42, plowed into David Crawford, 59, who was on a motorcycle on 838 in Plymouth in May. Perry was jailed for 12 years at Exeter Crown Court for manslaughter. Chad Braden, 36, and Thomas Parley, 32, were also convicted of manslaughter in jail for 4 years each. Sentencing the trio, Mr. Justice John,
Yeah, that's a crazy
Arthur
assumption.
was utterly innocent in all of this.
ABM.
He had just been out
From
for a ride
Baltimore,
on his
bro.
bike with his
I
friends
don't know
at
if
the
you knew that or
motorcycle
not.
club, he said. Neither he nor his fellow bikers had done anything wrong that evening. You three had absolutely no business trying to dictate who rode their bikes in Devon, or what they were wearing when doing so. The judge said the men, who were all members of the now defunct Plymouth Bandidos Motorcycle Club chapter, acted after being alerted to the presence of Hell's Angels and their supposed the Red Chiefs in the area. In the infantile world of such motorcycle clubs, to ride a motorbike in the neighboring county displaying your colors, it seems to cause great offense to the club that considers the county its home territory. You were each contacted by a sergeant at arms of your club about the presence of these other clubs, and you each took the streets of Plymouth. Detective Inspector Ross Smith for the Major Crimes Investigation Team said the footage retained from the dash cameras fitted in Perry's van showed the collision was no accident.
They rode him off the road.
Evidence has shown that Perry was not working alone. Along with Bradding and Parley, the three men worked together in a callous and coordinated attack that ultimately took the life of David Crawford.
I got a video. It's a
These men
video
have
of this.
taken away a father, grandfather, brother, and son away from his family in what was a senseless and unwarranted attack.
Look at the video. It's a video of it. They drove this man off the road, man, because he was in a rival gang territory. Look at him. Rode him over. Drove him over, man. This is vicious. Look at this shit. Yo on a bike. This is vicious, man. Rolled over top of him. Kept going.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question, man.
Killed that boy, man. Come on, man. Don't talk that dumb ass shit to me, man. Talk that shit to a dummy. You feel me? Talk that shit to a dummy that don't know no better. You can't come over here and keep it G News and tell me anything about black people. Cause I can show you the same things that other races do. It just don't get media attention. Media is what pushes propaganda. Media is what pushes false narratives. Media is what sways public opinion. I can do these videos every fucking day. Every day. I don't even remember, man. Hold on, I got a video on Hell's Angels. Look at these gangsters. Show what these gangsters did. Hell's high ranking high. Look, check this out.
Yo, what it is?
Check this out. What the fuck? Listen to what these guys did. Gangsters. Media don't cover them though.
Stone cold criminal. You heard me. Check out what he did.
San Joaquin County, a man left for dead. 2 suspects in custody tonight with a 3rd man still wanted.
But now authorities say they're searching for this man, 36-year-old Jason Blasingame. They say he's a member of the Hells Angels. KCRA 3's Leanne Depp reports.
It was outside of this bar in San Joaquin County that the sheriff's office says a man died after being severely beaten.
A man was left for dead.
Beat the man to death
outside of a bar in Clements. And so 2 of those people have been arrested, and there's a 3rd person that is currently outstanding.
No,
the sheriff's office tells us that this incident happened back on May 1st and that they've been unsuccessfully looking for this 3rd suspect for a while now. The victim, 45-year-old Stephen Buchanan Jr. This is the man they're looking for.
We want to have him apprehended.
36-year-old Jason Blasingame.
He is a full-patched Hells Angel member from the Stockton chapter. We believe that they are helping him evade contact from us.
Meanwhile, these 2 men are already in custody in connection to this case. 43-year-old Lloyd Strack and 39-year-old Aaron Davis. The sheriff's office says they want their suspect in custody too.
We've been looking for him nonstop, and we have hit quite a few blocks on the way. So we are needing the community's help to be able to be our eyes and ears.
The sheriff's office says they consider Blasingame to be dangerous and ask community members not to approach, but to call if they see him. In San Joaquin County,
stay the fuck away from him. This man is dangerous. Let's go to some more motorcycle gangs. I think I'm reading an article.
Amphitheater concert in June. A group of Hells Angel members viciously beat an off-duty police officer. They were involved in a fatal assault where one of them punched the man from behind, causing him to fall face first down on the concrete. As the 2nd victim lay motionless on the ground, suffering a traumatic brain injury from which he would later die, the group of men poured beer on him in front of onlookers, with one of them shouting, "This is what you effing get for talking S." In an immediate aftermath, one of the members of the group allegedly cornered a witness against a food truck, lifted him by the collar and told him, "You didn't see nothing." Another member is said to have blocked the path of a different witness who was trying to follow the group as they left the scene while trying to call concert security. Those details are outlined in a criminal complaint and a Mountain View Police Department investigative summary that accompany multiple felony charges, encompassing murder, assault, and witness intimidation, filed against the 5 men, all of whom were linked to the Hells Angel Motorcycle Club. Tuesday, the men were arrested in the Bay Area and in Chicago, and authorities served search warrants on their homes in San Francisco, San Mateo, and Pleasant Hill, as well as the Hells Angel Club in San Francisco. Logan Winterton, 37, of San Francisco, faced the most serious charge of murder and a deadly assault at the June 18th Chris Stapleton concert at Shoreline. The man who died had been identified as 41-year-old Bakersfield resident Juan Gonzalez. The Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office also filed felony charges of assault likely to cause great bodily injury against Winterton and San Francisco resident Julio Moran, and David Westenhaven, 38, and the 42-year-old Pleasant Hill resident Raymond Cunningham, and Dominic Garrido, a 34-year-old San Francisco resident, who are each charged with a felony count of dissuading a witness. Deputy District Attorney Irene Williams confirmed that Cunningham and Moran were arraigned Wednesday in Santa Clara County, and that both are being held in jail, though records only show Moran being held in main jail in lieu of $500,000 bond. She said Garrido and Westenhaven were booked at San Francisco jail and were released after posting bail and are expected to make their first court appearance in mid-December. Winterton was arrested in Chicago and was awaiting extradition back to Bay Area, Williams said. The prosecutor said the two victims in the case did not know the defendants prior to their chance run-in at the concert. The investigative summary written by Mountain View Police Department, Jason Rawdon, states the victim in the first attack was an off-duty police officer waiting in line for a portable restaurant.
Damn.
Who had a brief conversation. And the line
that man was waiting in line, man. Innocent. He was just there to enjoy the motherfucking concert, man. They beat that man to death, man.
Cunningham. Moments later, in an encounter partially captured on security footage, Cunningham allegedly put his drink down, then put both hands around the victim's neck and pushed him back out of the camera view. Rodan wrote that the man reappeared on camera with unsteady gait, followed by Winterton and Westonhaven throwing a drink at him, and one of the two punching the man in the face and knocking him to the ground. That was reportedly followed by Cunningham and Moran and Westonhaven and Winterton kicking and punching the man repeatedly, an instance where Westonhaven stomped the man's face. The victim in the assault, who Williams described as only as a police officer who works in California, reportedly suffered head injuries, including a broken orbital bone. Now, both these cases happened.
Come on, man. Look at these guys. Gangsters. They don't look black to me. What about, do we gotta go back to the guy wedding? What the fuck that nigga name was? What the fuck shorty name was? Biggest gangster. He was a figure skater.
Questions this
A
morning.
figure skater turned Ryan Wetton. Are y'all familiar with Ryan? Ryan Wetton still on the run. He been protected by the cartels. Yo, you can't even. It ain't a black American on the America's top 10 criminals. FBI most wanted. It's not a black American on there. It's not a black American on there. This guy right here, straight gangster. Straight gangster. Check him out.
From Olympian to fugitive, a former Canadian snowboard champ is now one of the FBI's 10 most wanted.
Wedding went from being an elite athlete to running one of the most sophisticated drug traffickers.
Ryan James Wedding isn't just on the FBI's most wanted list.
Don't
He's
look black
sitting
to
at
me.
the very top. Once a world-class athlete, he's now running a billion-dollar drug empire, owns a $5 million South Florida mansion with hundreds of millions in crypto and over $100,000 stuffed in a dresser like pocket change. The U.S. Department of State was so stunned by his lifestyle that they slapped a $10 million bounty on his head.
He don't look like a black man, y'all. Like, yo, see, yo, the problem is it's propaganda, man. It's propaganda. You can do this with any race of people. You can do this with any race of people.
Double what they've offered for any fugitive on the FBI list. So, how did he go from chasing gold to moving 5 tons of fentanyl a month? And what is he really doing with all that blood money? Let's dig in. In 2002, Ryan Wedding proudly represented Canada at the Winter Olympics. By 2025, he represents everything the FBI fears most. Wedding went from this to that in a little over a decade. But the real shock? It's not just what he became. It's how he lived while doing it. It's important to note that much of what we know about Wedding's life comes from sealed indictments, intelligence from joint agency task forces, and testimonies from former associates, many of whom were arrested as part of his syndicate. Not all of it is confirmed.
So those people just got sent.
But this is the picture we've been able to piece together. Wedding's connections ran deep, straight into the heart of the Sinaloa cartel, Mexico's most powerful and violent drug syndicult. His ties didn't just give him access.
A&B, you need to hit the cash app to make me go through all this shit. A&B Records, this the whole live got swayed because you came in with a dumbass comment. So you need to hit the cash app.
From Dubai penthouses to Vancouver high-rises, Ryan moved like someone above the law. He didn't fly commercial. His meetings were too sensitive. Ex-Russian KGB operatives, Iranian encryption specialists, Hezbollah-linked traffickers, Russian mob bosses. This was his inner circle. He traveled by private jet, booked under fake names. His marriage to an Iranian-born businesswoman from British Columbia wasn't just personal, it was political. She introduced him to offshore bankers, luxury developers, and foreign investors. Their relationship blurred the line between legitimate business and international crime. But Wedding wasn't just a hidden kingpin. He mingled with the elite. One of his closest allies? Nahim Jorge Bonilla, a Miami music executive who called himself The One. Bonilla helped broker drug deals at a level most traffickers could only dream of. As the owner of Mandrake, a high-end Miami Beach hotspot, he gave Wedding access to the rich and the ruthless. Add in a powerful Indian trucking magnate, a top Toronto hitman, and known Russian mobsters, and you start to see the scale of Wedding's reach. But in the drug world, there are no happy endings. One snitch, one slip, one message that doesn't self-delete in time, and the whole kingdom cracks. Ryan Wedding's rise remains one of the most terrifying success stories in modern organized crime. But how these operations were executed is still shocking. And now let's go back to the beginning, to see how it all started. Before El Jefe built a drug empire, he was just a kid with a board.
El Jefe is what they call him, y'all.
Born on September 14th, 1981, in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Ryan James Wedding was raised on cold mornings and steeper hills. His grandparents ran a small ski hill called Mount Baldy. His dad, Rene, was an engineer and former ski racer. His mom came from a family of competitors. In other words, snow ran in the bloodline. By the age of 12, Wedding was snowboarding full-time. He stood out quickly, fearless, focused, and obsessed with improvement. He had no fear, said national champion Bobby Allison. Where others hesitated, Ryan attacked. Around 1991, his family moved to Coquitlam, British Columbia, a suburb of Vancouver, and a better launch pad for his athletic future. There, he found steeper slopes, stiffer competition, and a new level of discipline. He won his first snowboard race at 12. By 15, he had joined the Canadian national team. His dad pumped in close to $40,000, customizing his gear, adjusting boots, grinding boards. Every inch was optimized, and the results came fast. Bronze at the 1999 Junior Worlds, silver in 2001. The Olympics weren't a pipe dream. They were the plan. Salt Lake City, 2002. Wedding made it. Men's parallel giant slalom. The world watched, and he finished 24th out of 32. Not a crash, not a flameout, just forgettable. And that's when it started to unravel. The Olympic buzz faded. Sponsors cooled. Wedding enrolled at Simon Fraser University, but didn't last. He drifted, off the podium, off the radar, off the map. Meanwhile, Vancouver was changing. It was no longer just a Pacific city. It was becoming the Silicon Valley of weed. Grow ops flourished, profits skyrocketed. And like so many ex-athletes chasing relevance, Wedding found a new high. First, marijuana. Then harder moves. He didn't just sample the underworld, he stepped into it, board first. 2008, San Diego. Wedding flew in from Vancouver to close a deal. 24 kilos of cocaine. He checked into a hotel. Waited. The seller was an FBI informant. 3 days later, the former Olympian was in cuffs. In court, he looked tired, ashamed. "I guess I lost my way," he said. But he didn't stop. 2015. Project Harrington. Canadian authorities exposed a bizarre cocaine network involving uniformed personnel, a Coast Guard member, an Air Force employee, and even insiders with access to military zones. The syndicate was ruthless, unstable. Several people tied to it were later found murdered. Wedding, now operating out of Montreal, was linked directly to the operation.
You hear that?
And then,
murder.
Nothing. He vanished,
He was an ice
dropped
skater.
off the radar, until authorities picked up whispers from Mexico. Wedding hadn't quit. He had evolved. He got involved with the Sinaloa cartel, one of the most violent drug organizations
El
on
Chapo
Earth.
man.
That wasn't luck. That was placement. He embedded himself inside a supply chain that spanned from Colombia's jungles to Canada's suburbs. A former snowboarder is now fluent in black market economics. He stopped using his real name, built a portfolio of aliases: Jesse King, Giant, Public Enemy, El Jefe. Encrypted messaging became his playground: Threema, Signal, Telegram. He operated under usernames, never voices, tokens instead of trust. A dollar bill with a serial number sent via photo to confirm identity at a handoff. That was how he ran logistics. No names, just bills and bullets. By then, Wedding wasn't just moving cocaine. He was moving fear. Investigators say he was connected to murder plots, failed assassinations, and retaliations.
Wow.
He wasn't a runner. He was the strategist.
I can't believe
he was
this.
Just getting started.
Yeah, this is shocking. This is unbelievable. Did y'all hear the things this guy was involved in? Yeah, I could have sworn that black people only did this. I could have sworn that, like, you would have never, you couldn't. If I didn't know this information, you couldn't have made me believe this, man. You couldn't have paid me to believe that black people aren't the only criminals in the United States. You couldn't pay me to believe that black people aren't the biggest criminals in the United States. But if you was to ever just glance at the FBI most wanted list, you won't see an American black person on it. Nope, you won't. I don't know why. You know, maybe you need to ask America. But you won't see them on there. But if you go to the news, you listen to propaganda, all you're gonna see is juvenile crime is through the roof. This person did this. This 17-year-old kills this person. That's all you're gonna see. But if you got any kind of common sense and you think for yourself, you know that, we ain't the biggest criminals in this motherfucking country. We might commit the most crime through poverty, but we damn sure ain't the biggest. Nowhere close.
From Thunder Bay to cartel territory, from Olympic athlete to international fugitive, Ryan Wedding didn't fall from grace. He traded it in. This isn't a redemption story.
Olympic athlete to worldwide trafficker. People call Dirk dumb. People call Dirk dumb for being arrested for a retaliation plot against Condo Rondo. This guy was an Olympic swimmer turned drug trafficker.
For how someone can go from a national hero to public enemy #1, and how every system, from sport to crime,
they got a $10 million bounty out on y'all. $10 million. That man still ain't get caught. They been looking for this man for 2 years. I did a video on 2 years ago. That's how I know these things, because I do videos. I used to anyway, when I had time.
Before we get to how he clawed his way to the top of the FBI's most wanted list, we need to peel back the layers, see how the criminal machine really operated, and how Wedding morphed into something monstrous. What you're about to hear might just be the most disturbing part of the entire story. The drug syndicate run by former Olympian Ryan Wedding wasn't built in back alleys or barroom deals. It was built like a logistics company, just one where late deliveries could end in murder. Wedding operated like a CEO. He wasn't on the streets, but nothing moved without his word. Known to his crew as El Jefe, his partner, Andrew Clark, a Toronto native known by 17 aliases including The Dictator and El Niño Problemático, was the field commander. If Wedding was strategy, Clark was enforcement. Together they ran a binational drug empire so tightly coordinated, so deliberately layered, it operated like a cartel franchise with Canadian management and Sinaloan ties. The system's heartbeat was Los Angeles. Stash houses spread across the city served as staging points. Inside them, crews packaged cocaine freshly routed in from Mexico. Bulk shipments smuggled in via hidden compartments in freight trucks, air cargo, and sometimes even maritime routes. 3 men managed LA on the ground, logistics hands who operated quietly, moving between stash houses based on the orders sent by Wedding or Clark. These orders would go through encrypted chats, broken into pieces. No one had the full picture. Once a load was ready, it triggered the next chain. Canada. This is where Hardeep Diamond Rata and Gurpreet Farmer Singh came in. Based in Brampton, Ontario, they weren't just distributors. They were node controllers.
I don't see a blackface
They
on
knew
that
when to
indictment.
send runners, when to receive shipments, and how to rotate drivers so no one got too familiar. When a shipment was in motion, 2 names often showed up: Rakim Ibragimov, the Russian, and Gennady Bilanog, John. Trusted border hands, drivers, couriers. They operated between Canada and California like clockwork. But their job wasn't just transport, it was verification. The token system. You couldn't just show up and pick up a load. That was suicide. Instead, the syndicate used a primitive, but brutally effective, form of 2-factor authentication. Each transfer required a token, a specific banknote whose serial number had been sent ahead via text or encrypted chat. When the handoff happened, the recipient had to present the exact same bill in person.
Sounds elaborate
No
to me.
matching token, no product. This wasn't paranoia. This was precision. In a world where digital communications can be spoofed or hacked, a crumpled, traceable bill has become the most reliable ID system in the underworld. And it worked. Until it didn't. Yes, we fact-checked the dollar bill token system. Took hours and a whiteboard to unpack it clearly. If that made your jaw drop, hitting the subscribe button helps us make more wild stories like this. Done that? Now back to the story. Interestingly, this wasn't just a shipping company with shady margins. It was violent. When a load disappeared or someone talked out of turn, there was no investigation. There was a name, a photo, and a contract. Clark kept the list. Wedding approved it. On November 20th, 2023, a husband and wife, Jagtar Sidhu and Harbhajan Sidhu, were gunned down in their home outside Toronto. Their daughter was shot 13 times and somehow survived. The killers thought they were retaliating over a stolen shipment. They had the wrong house. Innocent people died because someone misread an address. That wasn't the last hit. On April 1st, 2024, a man was executed in Niagara Falls, shot dead in what prosecutors later called a gangland-style murder tied to an underworld ripoff. Authorities say Malik Damian Cunningham, aka Mr. Perfect, carried it out, allegedly on Clark's orders. By then, the network's reputation was reinforced not just by profit, but by terror. Nobody misstepped twice. If a driver was late, if a handoff went sideways, if someone talked too loud, there was a fix. Clark didn't just order violence. He curated it.
Better not get out of line.
What the crew didn't know was that in early 2023, someone slipped inside. A confidential informant, working for the FBI, inserted himself right at the heart of the token system. He didn't just witness how the banknotes worked. He became part of the transaction chain, logging tokens, phone numbers, and names. Each token became a breadcrumb. Each chat decrypted became a thread. Each movement across the California-Canada route became traceable. The FBI didn't need to break down the front door. They walked in with the blueprint. By mid-2024, what looked like an uncrackable operation had been quietly mapped. Stash houses, truck routes, code names, and timing. The RCMP and US agents coordinated with Mexican law enforcement. The walls started to close. But at this point in the story, they were still running the game. Wedding was still free. Clark was still ordering hits. The stash houses were still humming. The tokens were still passing hands. This wasn't just crime.
What the fuck is you talking about?
This was
You haven't been
business.
making sense the whole
From
time.
Olympic fame to underworld kingpin, Wedding ran the kind of empire where the only password was a dollar bill, and the cost of failure was your life. But no one was ready for what happened next. Wedding's operation didn't just catch the eye of one agency. It triggered a domino effect across borders. The FBI led the charge in the United States, naming Wedding a top-tier threat and adding him to the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives. The DEA began mapping cocaine routes from Colombia through Mexico into stash houses in Los Angeles before shipments moved north to Canada. In Canada, the RCMP did more than assist. They helped lead. Working directly with U.S. agencies, they ran joint surveillance operations, wiretaps, and helped unravel the logistics web underpinning Wedding's enterprise. The LAPD handled boots-on-the-ground coordination, targeting suspected safe houses and distribution nodes across LA. Interpol coordinated the international legal web, issuing global warrants and laying the groundwork for extradition. The tipping point came when the U.S. Attorney's Office filed a sweeping indictment listing continuing criminal enterprise, conspiracy to commit murder, money laundering, and international drug trafficking, the kind of charges reserved for criminal empires. One of the most dramatic moments came in Aventura, a wealthy suburb just north of Miami Beach. Neighbors recognized the mansion. It had once belonged to DJ Khaled, but few knew it had allegedly become a jewel in the crown of a global narcotics empire. Then the FBI rolled up. Tactical agents arrived at dawn with armored vehicles, blocking off the palm-lined street. Inside the property, they reportedly found marble floors, imported Italian furnishings, and a garage packed with luxury cars. More importantly, they arrested Nahim Jorge Bonilla, described in leaked reports as a music executive and alleged money launderer tied to Wedding's operation. Agents seized hard drives, crypto wallets, and a ledger detailing over $9 million in transactions.
I did a video on him too.
While Bonilla's name hasn't appeared in F-50 indictments, sources close to the investigation say this raid marked a turning point. Proof that the U.S. government wasn't just chasing names. They were dismantling an empire. Following the raid, authorities zeroed in on Wedding's financial arteries. Bank accounts tied to Canadian and U.S. shell companies were frozen. Real estate in Miami, Vancouver, and Baja California came under scrutiny. But the real innovation was digital. Wedding's syndicate relied heavily on cryptocurrency, particularly Tether, USDT, to move cash, hide transactions, and avoid regulators. Yet investigators weren't far behind. Blockchain forensic teams began tracing wallet activity across international exchanges, leading to the freezing of over $126 million in digital assets within weeks of Andrew Clark's arrest. Several global banks, responding to U.S. and Canadian cooperation requests, flagged suspicious transfers and severed ties with offshore accounts tied to Wedding's network. On March 6, 2025, the case went nuclear. Ryan Wedding was officially added to the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list, a designation reserved for America's most dangerous and elusive criminals. The listing came with a $10 million reward, offered through the State Department's Narcotics Rewards Program, one of the highest rewards ever offered for a fugitive tied to drug trafficking. From Los Angeles to Toronto, digital billboards flashed his face. Posters went up in Mexico, Colombia, and border cities across Central America. The message was unmistakable. The U.S. wasn't asking nicely. They are coming. What began as a snowboarding prodigy's dream ended in blood, betrayal, and billions. Once secured by encrypted apps, aliases, and loyal enforcers, Wedding's empire is unraveling. His right-hand man, Andrew Clark, is in custody. His financial streams are freezing. His network is bleeding out. And his name now lives alongside the worst fugitives in FBI history. Wedding is believed to be hiding in Mexico, protected by old cartel alliances. But the net is closing. And in the criminal underworld, when the money dries up and the fear fades, even kings get betrayed. The fall of El Jefe has begun. And that's a wrap. This video took days of digging through sealed court.
Come on, man. Don't talk to me about no motherfucking black people, man. When you got guys like this running around, still on the loose. Fuck out of here. Now let's get back to the regular scheduled program, man. Let's get back to the regular scheduled program. We gotta go finish watching that interview with Jeffrey. We already talked about Go Yayo. You know, Go Yayo like boys. He's a boy lover. But let's go back to this.
The new crafted flats from Pizza Hut. 5 handcrafted recipes with more toppings, all for you. There's no... That's what he told.
Oh, shit. Not this. That's my video. Yo, let's be clear, yo. Let me know, y'all. Yesterday, the first live we did wasn't clear. And ain't nobody say nothing the whole time. Nobody said anything. Gotta say something, yo, when the live ain't clear, man. Alright. Hey, Mesquite, you racist. Let me send you out here. Cause you know, you're not even homeboys and homegirls that do some flawed shit. And at first, you be shocked, disappointed. Like, damn, I can't believe they did that. But then when you get to think about shit that happened in the past, and you be like, damn, this motherfucker been showed me these signs. You understand what I'm saying? These signs been there. I just made excuses for him. Like Jeffrey said, oh, that's just how he is. That's just how she is. Nah, yo, when you become an adult, you can't keep going for that. Hell no. Shouldn't have been going for it back then. Because if you didn't go for it back then, you wouldn't be in this situation now. But you gotta pay attention to the signs, yo. They exist. They always there. No, he didn't. Gunna took the plea deal first. No, Gunna took the plea deal first. Gunna taking the plea deal is what I think catapulted everybody else taking the plea deal. Because to be honest, Gunna supposed to have been the most loyal. Gunna was the only other millionaire. Gunna was a millionaire made by Jeffrey Williams. You know what I mean? Yo, he wasn't supposed to go that route. Like I said yesterday, if it came down to a time when everybody else turned against him, yo, Gunna supposed to have been right there with Jeffrey, man. He supposed to have been right there with him, yo. It's supposed to have been Jeffrey and Gunna, you know, to the end. Then you consider they didn't even have no case on, yo. He didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? He wasn't a part of it. He had a picture of him holding up gang signs or some shit like that. But as far as any criminal behavior, man, he ain't do none of that shit, man. He ain't do none of it. All he had to do was be quiet. And I think out of all the people, even his brother, even Jeffrey's brother, I think out of all of the people, yo, he was like, damn, Gunna, you really did that? You know what I mean? After all the shit I done for you, you really couldn't stand down? We were locked up down there 3 years. He copped out in month 7. He hurt,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
You can tell he hurt.
Just cause you trying to get home fast, or you just trying to get to a hole, or you just doing a certain thing, bro.
He hurt. You better cry.
You already done betrayed a nigga before, bro. Damn. A piece of paper, nigga, you gonna let a piece of paper?
That's what I'm saying. You see that? You betrayed me before. Then why did you allow it to happen again, bro? I need to talk to Jeffrey, y'all. Somebody put me on with Jeffrey, y'all. I talk to him. I get him right. He gotta get some of that motherfucking Baltimore mentality in him. You know what I mean? Yo, you let him betray you twice, bro. Who fault is that? You know what I mean? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, man. That's what we say in Baltimore. You let him betray you twice, bro. That's your fault. It's your fault. 3 days, man. Fuck, I'm standing on it. It wasn't a relationship built on loyalty, man. It wasn't built on trust, man. It was built on clout. and what's and beneficiary reasons. I mean, Gunna needed them for protection. Young Thug needed them for protection. Young Thug needed them for his image. They used Young Thug for the lifestyle. But it wasn't built on loyalty, man. Anything that's not built on loyalty gonna crumble. Wasn't built on loyalty. Now he thought it was, but I don't know how you think that when these people already shown you disloyalty. They already shown it to him. I'm sure every single one of them have. Yo, you cannot turn the blind eye, especially when you're in the streets, man. Yo, when you in the streets, yo, you can't turn a blind eye to flawed activity. Like I told y'all, I don't fuck with niggas that don't take care of their kids. I don't. Don't fuck with niggas that don't take care of their kids. I don't fuck with loud niggas. Niggas that's too loud all the time. I don't fuck with them niggas. And it's a reason why. You understand what I'm saying? Because life has shown me, yo, if you one of them attention seekers, always loud, always trying to be tough, your life showed me, though, these guys are telling on you, man. They're telling on you. If you can't be loyal to your kids, you can't be loyal to me. How am I fuck with you? You're not even acting father. He upset right now, but eventually he gotta get to a point where he gotta take the blame for this. And you was the lead, bro. It's always your fault. Yeah, look, the bank tripping. Like I don't blame this nigga for his passing, yo. Bank is tripping. Yo, he just got betrayed by everybody. Everybody turned on him. Took plea deals. Got on the stand. That's good. He might shit. He might not never recover from that shit for mentally. How can you, like he said, I don't know how you can move on from that. I don't know how you can move on from that. I mean, I guess, time heals all wounds. But Bank is tripping. Like, he's not taking no understanding back and be like, yo, I fucked up. And that's a hard thing to do, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It's a hard thing to do when other people made mistakes. Because the easiest thing to do is blame somebody else. That is the easiest thing in the world to do. A lot of people live their whole life like that. Don't take accountability for nothing. But it gets to a point, yo, if you're moving like that, where you're going to look in the mirror and be like, I'm a fucked up person. You know what I mean? I can't keep blaming other people for the mistakes I made. You brought Gunna in knowing about the Crime Stoppers. First mistake. You should never brought him in. I don't give a fuck what King Trope said. King Trope was dead wrong for even telling you that shit. You knew that man wasn't right. You brought him in anyway. So what the fuck did you expect, yo? Like, you say he showed you disloyalty after that. What's up, Sharice? How you feeling? He showed you disloyalty after that. You still fuck with him. Yo, people die for that, man. People die for not paying attention to the red flags. People go to prison for that. That's why he was in prison. Not paying attention to the red flags. That's your fault. You feel me? Can't blame nobody for that. That is his fault.
Somebody tell me what.
The first step is accountability. That's always the first step. Should you learn that shit in the motherfucking in the drug program? Whatever you mean, what the fuck that shit called? 10 steps or whatever the fuck that shit called. The first step of healing is accountability. The first step of addiction is admitting you have a problem. You understand? Yo, you gotta admit that you made mistakes as well, man. Gotta admit that. That's the first step. I don't know what Big Bang talking about. He ain't no big homie. You know what I mean? I don't know, y'all. These guys ain't street like that.
You gotta, man, shit, you got it, bro. Whatever, man. Like, everybody, man, niggas just gotta move forward with their life, man. Make sure this shit don't turn into nothing else. That's all I'm saying. With whoever on the internet, talking the internet.
Make sure y'all subscribe, y'all.
I feel like y'all should have a conversation.
Ain't gonna hear this nowhere else.
That's just how I feel. So have you ever been betrayed by one of your friends? Yes. So bad to where you can't talk to them no more? Don't lie. Yes. But I still, if a nigga
if I see a nigga mama or something, tell my brother I say I love him. Cause I do. I understand. I can't turn my heart off. That's another. I ain't finna say nothing about you, I ain't finna nothing because I already know what it gonna lead to. We keep going back and forth, and then she gonna lead to something else. That's another thing.
You don't have to.
A nigga ain't contact my mama. When you did what's wrong in that courtroom, you ain't get
out of jail. Ain't gotta lead to nothing else.
Immediately. It
don't have to lead to nothing else. You just go your way, I go mine. If I see you, we ain't even, I mean, ain't gotta lead to nothing else. That's just what we on.
Bro, I'm so fucked up by that shit, bro. I'm so much of a real nigga, I still can't even be no fuck nigga. I still can't even go. That ain't even been a fuck nigga. I can't even be a businessman with this nigga. After he did what he did, I still ain't never did nothing to him. You really want to forgive, though?
What?
No, I don't.
Yo,
no, I don't, twin. I wish he did something lighter so I could forgive him. Fuck, I don't. Hell nah. But I done cried many nights about this shit. This shit ain't about no wham.
You can't forgive that, yo. Like Big Bank tripping, like yo, these niggas didn't got the mentality of yo. You can just do whatever you want. I forget, nah, fuck no, bro. Sometimes yo, people cross the line, man. People cross the line, yo. It ain't yo. Once you cross that line, yo, in certain instances you can't come back. You can't come back over. Yo, that man could have got that man a life sentence with that plea deal. It don't matter if it didn't happen or not. He didn't know it wasn't going to happen. He took that plea deal with full acknowledgement that he may have to testify. And he signed it. Yo, we can't be friends no more. We can't be friends no more. Sorry. Found me and my other co-defendant. And I told y'all, before he took the plea, yo, don't take the plea deal, bro. Don't take it. I get probably like a couple days later, maybe a week later, my lawyer come get me. Like, yeah, you know, your cousin took the plea. Yo, that shit was devastating, bro. I couldn't believe you did that. After we just had a conversation, I just told y'all not to do it. You went and did this shit anyway, yo. That shit hurt, man. Yo, that hurts. I mean, that is betrayal at the highest level. And with the gunner situation, he didn't even tell Shorty. He just did it on his own. You know what I mean? I couldn't forgive that. I couldn't forgive that. Outside of the Crime Stoppers, Gunner did something flawed. So why did he expect, when this shit happened, why did he expect Gunner to stay silent? He wrong for that. He put too much on that boy, man. He wrong for that. Now, Gunner's wrong for what he did, too. You know, both of them is wrong. But in order for Jeffrey to move past this, he got to take accountability. Can't keep blaming yo. Blaming Gunner does nothing for Young Thug's mental. Does nothing for him. It ain't gonna help him move forward. It's just gonna keep him in the same space. He got to get to a point where he look up and he look at the crew and he think about the past and he think about the shit that they did. And he got to get to a point when it's like, y'all should have been stopped fucking with them niggas. Should have been left them alone. That's the only way he gonna get past it. That's the only way.
Even throughout the
Lil Durk, King Von, Quando Rondo. Yo, you gotta get to a point. And it took years to get this way, yo. Some people never get there. Them boys supposed to let that shit go with King Von. King Von crashed out. I can't jeopardize my family, jeopardize my livelihood because you crashed out, bro. You crashed out. You understand? You didn't call me and be like, yo, look, I see Quando, yo, what you want me to do? Nah, bro, you did that on your own, my nigga. I can't throw my life away for that. You understand? Yo, we talking about throwing your life away. Like, yo, people got to start guarding their life a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, yo, once you make these mistakes, yo, a lot of times it ain't no coming back from them, yo. It ain't no coming back. Yo, his life could have been over. But Jeffrey's could have been over, but it could have been over because he ignored the flawed activity that was going on around him. He made excuses for him. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't make excuses for fuckery. It's either you're gonna participate in it or you're gonna separate from it. But when it fall down, you can't then be a victim of it. Nah, fuck no. You participated. You knew what these guys was. They been telling. But what it was is they had fear of the community as well. So he sacrificed what he knew was right for the image of YSL. You can't blame nobody for that, man. Yeah, yo. But like I said, TJ, sometimes you get, some people don't never get to this point. It took me years to get to this point. Yo, you can't throw your life away for everybody. You can't throw your life away for every situation. Sometimes, yo, and it hurts. You know, it ain't easy. But sometimes you really gotta look at the situation like King Von and them. No, hell no, Gunna ain't right. Fuck no. I ain't never. Yo, Thug should never fuck with Gunna again. Gunna was dead wrong because Gunna owed him more than that. But two things could be true. You know, Gunna could have owed Thug more than that, but Thug should have never put Gunna in that situation because he knew Gunna wasn't going to stand tall. Because Gunna ain't never stood tall before. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, you gotta get to a situation. You gotta get to a point in life when you gotta just accept what happened. You know what I mean? King Von should have never jumped out there and put his hands on Quando Rondo that night. That shit was stupid. It was dumb. Now I can't because yo, this what people gotta understand. I tell this to my homeboys. Yo, when you make certain decisions, yo, you jeopardizing everybody. You know what I mean? You jeopardizing everybody, bro. So you gotta make sure, yo, you justified in how you move. Because I can't, because I love you to death. You know, I'm rocking with you. Yo, but I can't move off of impulse. I can't move in the wrong. You understand what I'm saying? When I make a decision, I gotta be in the right. I can't move in the wrong because I gotta live with this decision. I gotta live with this decision. If I catch life in prison, I gotta be able to be like, all right, it was worth it. Because I'm gonna tell you this, yo, most things ain't worth it. If it ain't motherfucking fucking with your kids, your family, your livelihood, yo, that shit don't be worth it, man. I'm telling you, this is coming from somebody that been facing life in prison for a situation that at the time I felt was justified. But after I got in that bitch and sat, I'm like, damn, yo. Nigga probably shouldn't even have did that shit. You feel me? Now I ain't gonna tell. I ain't never gonna show this to the judge. But I'm telling you, these are the type of the things that go through your mind. And when you make these decisions, yo, especially a decision where your life can change forever, permanently, yo, you gotta make sure you can live with that. Gotta make sure you can live with that decision, man. That's all I'm saying. You know, money only changed the outside. You know, the inside is, you know, that shit don't change. You feel me? Who you are as a person internally, that don't change with money. You know, money just change your financial status. It might change your look. You know, it might change your persona. But it don't change who you are as a person. And Jeffrey went wrong by thinking that as long as I'm looking out for Gunna, as long as I'm paying his way and I'm paying for strings and I'm elevating his career, he thought somehow, even though he was shown that this man ain't loyal, he thought somehow that was going to make Gunna stay silent. And that's what he fucked up at, man. That's what he fucked up at, and that's why he's so hurt. Like, I think when Gunna did that shit, he said he cried. I believe him. Because what he did was he looked at all the things he have done for this man. All the conversations he had with this man. But he didn't factor in the signs of disloyalty. You feel me? Because they was there. The signs of disloyalty been there from the beginning. You got him on some disloyal shit. The man that told you, you knew about the Crime Stoppers, man. You know about it. And I'm sure every single one of these guys showed disloyalty. Every single one of them. But he overlooked it. And in order for him to move past this, he got to accept that, man. Yeah, you can't be mad at who he is, yo. You knew who he was. Can't be mad at that, man. He really owe Gunna an apology for real. Gunna owe him an apology as well. But But he owed Gunna an apology for putting too much on Gunna, thinking that somehow Gunna was going to hold it down when Gunna showed you that ain't what he on. He ain't on that. You feel me? I don't know what you was thinking, but he ain't on that. Now you got this fuck boy. I call him page 8, y'all. This is Rilo. This is page 8, formerly known as Rilo. Reacts to Young Thug interview. How can I testify on 2 people with the exact same lawyer as me?
Impossible for 2 defendants with the same exact lawyer to testify against each other. I had Brian Steele, Thug had Brian Steele. I had Drew Finley, Lucha had Drew Finley. So tell me how the fuck could I testify against 2 niggas with the same exact lawyer? This is 100% a conflict of interest. You ain't gotta take this shit from me. You can go.
You probably couldn't, but that don't mean you ain't tried, nigga. Fuck you talking about? Just because it didn't happen, that don't mean you didn't try. That don't mean the conversation didn't arise and be like, nah, Rilo, that's a conflict of interest. We can't do that. Yeah, right. But I don't even think that ain't even true, to be honest. Because no, that ain't true. That ain't true. That ain't true. So when I had the dude that told on me, right? He talked to my lawyer. He didn't retain my lawyer, but he talked to him. So I had a bail review where my bail review got postponed. I was mad as shit. I banged my knuckle against the fucking cell because I was pissed off at the bail review. Cause I was mad as a bitch. Like I thought I was ready to get a bail, and they postponed it. And the reason why they postponed it is because he talked to my lawyer. But my lawyer still was representing me, and yo still was going to take the stand and testify. So I don't even think that's necessarily true. He still was going to testify. Like it wasn't just because he talked to my lawyer, that didn't take him. You know, he still was going to be a witness. So I don't even know I don't think that's true, Rilo. It sounds good, but I'm pretty sure that ain't true. You feel me? Like based off my situation.
Google this shit your damn self. So this is the lie that you've been calling the streets telling wham and dumb, and they believe you without seeing any paperwork.
Right.
And paperwork is law in the streets.
Prime example. Dirk and Young Boy got the same lawyer.
So you telling me I went and told the feds in June of 2018 about some state shit that was finna happen in 2024? Make some shit out of this shit, people. Tell me how. You went.
Yo, they was investigating them boys since 2015, Rilo. Like, these guys, Rilo, he does have a third. I think Rilo is the dumbest nigga on the internet, to be honest. He's one of the, if Rilo ain't the dumbest, he is definitely top 5. Yeah, I mean, like, Rilo did admit it, he got a 1st grade education. The man ain't make it out the first. Yeah, I mean, the man ain't make it out the 1st grade, y'all. You feel me? So a lot of times when it comes out of page 8, we listen, we just watch. You know, we don't really give him too much attention. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, he not making sense. He think he's making sense. He's only making sense to people that don't know. Nah, bro, you can become a witness, and they was investigating them boys since 2015, man. This is a 10-year investigation in now. Yeah, I mean, it is a chance that you went in that bitch and was like, man, look, I tell them on all. Matter of fact, they said that in court. You know, he mentioned some names of some pretty high-ranking members. That's where that came from. Remember, everybody was trying to figure out where that came from? He did that. He did that, man. He went in that bitch and he probably implicated Lucci, implicated Thug. That man was trying to come home. For 4 years before he caught his time, Rilo was trying to give up anything. Yo, you know you desperate. Rilo can't stand me, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to stay with his neck anyway. Yo, you know you desperate, right? When you devise a plot to fucking get one of your homeboys to take a case that he ain't got nothing to do with. Yo, that is the epitome of desperate. Like, who even thinks about that? Yo, like, not somebody involved in the case. You know, that's normal. This nigga tried to get an outsider. This nigga trying to... Excuse me, y'all. God damn, I'm about sick talking up this phlegm. Yo, this nigga tried to get an outsider to take the case. And the plan was just as stupid as he is. So, I don't know who told him this. Like, if I was locked up with Rilo and he done ran that play with me, he done ran that past me, I say, yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yo, that shit sound about dumb as a motherfucker. Like, what the fuck you think this is? Like, you really think that's gonna work? Yeah, yo, you know, I heard other guys talking about it. You know, they said that you could pay somebody. And I'm like, oh, Rilo, go in that bitch playing with them people if you want. That just sounds crazy to me. Yeah, man. Because how did he think he was gonna run this play? Like, did he not think they was gonna investigate? So Rilo thought that he was gonna go in that bitch, give him fake stash houses, give him a fake plug, and they just was gonna take this information, lock the plug up, don't go to the stash houses. Like, yo, that shit sound fucking stupid. Yo, they went to the stash houses, found nothing. First and foremost. So then they bring him back in there for this profit meeting, because he had two. He had more than one. He had two profit meetings. They bring him back in there, and they bring this to his attention like, oh, you fucking lied. So now what he do? Well, look, I'll give you my cell phone, and you can search through my phone, and you know, and what they did was they went through the cell phone, figured out that Ash Joshua was the attorney. Ash Joshua was involved in the weed business. Manny Jones is Ash Joshua business partner, because Manny Jones has already been implicated. Manny Jones get arrested. Ash Joshua get this ball. Rilo was a rat. Like, that was the dumbest player in the fucking world. And he's just not taking accountability for what he did. He refused to. What's up, Kevin? Rilo funny as shit. Then you got Rilo wild, man. I don't know what's wrong with him. You know, somebody need to stop him. Then you got this guy, Slime Life Shorty. He mad.
Okay, they want me to suffer. Alright. They try to turn me suckers crazy. Pussy nigga, shut up, dude. Pussy, I didn't stutter, saying you got the wrong man. The ones I looked up to was whole fans, fucking up my program. Hey, yo, roll practice, make it perfect, huh? This time it's gonna be worth it, huh? I'm doing a whole dance. When I get jumping, I'm landing wherever, however, whoever, I can show dance. Fuck all the shit that you heard, I ain't said a word, I'm under your nose, man. Wipe them. I caught a flat and they hot out the van. I brought a spanner, they back in.
Yeah, he definitely told me.
They want me to suck.
Yo, I know nobody want to take accountability for what they did.
They gonna ride, but I'm backing it in. They don't even know I'm backing it in. This shit about to be cold.
You ain't know Rilo was a rat? What the fuck? How you missed that? You must have been over here. Cause me and Rilo, I done got on Rilo about this shit for a while. Rilo can't stand me, man. He know what he did. He knows it.
May 27th, 2010. An off-duty officer reported a man named Keon leaving a mall in a brown car, wanted for murder. Keon was pulled over and arrested. CEOP, also known as Pierre Thomas, gave a statement claiming that Keon had previously shot him and killed his friend, leading to the murder warrant. Keon denied having a firearm or pointing one at anyone, but he was charged with aggravated assault and faced a murder warrant based on Pierre's statement. Eventually, Keon was sentenced to 20 years in prison, but in 2019, he was approved for parole. However, in an unrelated incident in 2023, he was shot and killed. May 27th, 2010.
He not moving how
all these niggas rats.
He used to move reckless. He moved different, but he wanted these niggas so bad that he's that reckless. Why he want so bad? Because
alright, Jermaine.
I can feel everybody, man.
Make sure I hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you new.
Like I said, I don't know what color they're going to use because they don't have a hot color of mine.
Listen to everybody's life. They just have one of the homies finally made it. We just go right away or nobody. You look at DK, one of whoever,
these niggas is crazy.
They want just round, just.
Come on, Thug. Yo, you gotta take court. You gotta take accountability for this, Jeffrey. Like, yo, look at this shit. Like, how do you find yourself in this type of circle? Like, yo, I have never seen this before, y'all. Ever in my life. And I didn't seen indictments. I didn't heard about indictments. I didn't been a part of an indictment. Yo, I have never seen a situation, yo, with damn near everybody told. Ever in my life.
Statements.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YS personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the game?
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly.
Court, some startling statements.
Please state after each statement whether or not.
Now Woody back speaking.
This nigga fucking, man, I shot at this nigga too, but honestly, I don't know who the.
My lawyer said, well, you know, I could make everything go away if it Tramel's. After he had passed, I had a night in his head.
Oh yeah, he said he was like, that shit crazy. Take accountability. This is what Woody said. He does need to take accountability, but Woody can't say that. Like, what the fuck? How Woody gonna tell somebody to take accountability? What the fuck is he talking about? These niggas, this shit crazy. How the fuck is Woody? He's the most unaccountable person there is. Like, how the fuck is he gonna tell anybody to take accountability? Woody, the nigga that went to the interrogation room and told on every fucking body. Like, yo, this shit is unbelievable, y'all. But y'all appreciate everybody that tapped that. Woody on YouTube live now. I won't be checking it. I'm not interested in anything Woody says. You feel me? Like, I can't watch him, yo. Yo, I don't know how y'all watch him. Like, how do you watch a person that's that dishonorable? Yo, the man been lying and telling on his friends for 10 years. Yeah, man, came home and became a pastor. Like, man, I can't watch that shit, man. All it's gonna do is piss me off. Yo, because I'm not interested in just words. Like, if you talking it, you gotta live it. I mean, you can't be talking about accountability when you got a 10 years mixtape of interrogations when you blaming everybody but yourself. Like, man, say that shit for somebody else, my nigga. You feel me? Keep it G News ain't interested. Straight up. But yo, the football game ready, come on, yo. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share the live. Hit the cash app, brothers and sisters. Yeah, man, we gotta turn back to Umar Johnson. You feel me? It's a Never Day QG News, and I'm out.